Hey everybody, right on time. Woo, I don't know how I made, but I thought it was going to be a minute late or something. Okay, but boy, do we have some stuff to talk about today. Whew. Okay. So it all centers around relationships, and I mean romantic relationships. So that's why my title is Relationship Chaos. Okay, so we have people in their 20s acting like people in their 20s, which, okay, whatever. But then also, we have people in their 40s or 50s acting like people in their teens and 20s. What is wrong here? Um, uh, boy. Okay. Okay, well, I usually don't talk about this part of it, but it kind of caught my attention today, so I'm going to talk about it first. I usually don't talk about the wardrobe because I've discussed the wardrobe thing before. Okay? A short little lesson if you haven't watched any of my videos, I talk about color and foreboding, foreshadowing. Okay? Two more acting terms. Well, it could actually be movie terms, TV shows, whatever. And sometimes in books, but more in movies and TV. Okay? Okay. So foreshadowing is when you kind of know what's going to happen in a story, right? Okay. So the element I'm going to talk about here is the wardrobe, and I'm going to talk about colors. All right. Now, I just happen to be in a black T-shirt, not on purpose, but you could say if I was in something that I might be the bad character. But then again, you'd have to look at the dialogue and look at the kind of scenes they put me in to determine whether or not I'm a bad character or not. Okay, but given the uh, given the temperature of the soap opera as of late, I would say that they're making Ashley Brewer, one of my favorites, a bad character. And the reason I say this is because of the wardrobe and the dialogue. Okay, last week or whenever it was, I made a video about it. She took Electra's letter and took it, just took it. And I said, "Oh, that's wrong." And I said, "Okay, well, I remember the character from back when, and she used to be a good character, although some other people said, oh, she was a little shady." I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Because I'm a newcomer, kind of to Bold and Beautiful. I've talked about that before. All right. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, they're really making her bad now. Like, they're really doing the switch. Because, yeah, now Daphne is the good one. And Ivy is not because she's manipulating the situation between Electra and Will to fit whatever she wants. And then if you want motivation, which is the next step, her motivation is to keep Electra away from a spoiled rich boy. That's what she said today. I was like, what? Okay, so clearly she has something against the Spencers or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a deeper story, but I'm not aware of it. Not fully, anyway. Okay. Another thing they're setting up a lot of things. Okay. So, this video, I should have said before, it might be a long one because I got a lot to say. A lot. Okay. Um, Effectively, you got four stories going on at the same time. You've got her trying to keep Will and Electra apart. Will and Electra trying to get back together. But then Will and Electra both kiss people. But people, they were on a break. They were broken up. And yes, I said they were on a break. But no, no, no. I got the line from Friends from Ross and Rachel. But no, no, no. These people were literally broken up. which means relationship 102. If you are broken up from somebody and you decide to get back together at whatever point, you do not owe the other person any explanation about what you did when you were broken up. End of story. But then again, they're also setting up the dynamic of Will versus RJ because remember Spencer and Forrester? So they got to have you know, that tension thing. So, of course, they're going to do that. Okay, that's another thing they're setting up. The other thing they're setting up is, okay, which is so weird. I didn't think they would do this with people older than me or whatever. Sorry, Rebecca Budding and Sean Kanan. Sorry, no disrespect. But they are totally setting up a Romeo and Juliet dynamic between these two people. Why do I say that? Because if you know anything about the play and William Shakespeare, it was a story of star-crossed lovers. And these two teenagers come from families that did not like each other, the Capulets and the Montagues. Okay? And they wanted to be together and they were denied. And guess what happened? They both unalived at the end of the play. Sorry I'm screaming, but like, really? They're over 40. Why are you doing this? You're not going to make me like it. I don't get it. They're not in high school anymore. And even if they were in high school, I still wouldn't like it because it's unless it's Romeo and Juliet, do not do another version of Romeo and Juliet, please. I've seen it 1,000 times. And yes, I like the play, but no. Okay, besides, okay, I talked about this before, and I think one of my last videos. These people, the girls in the office, first of all, I got questions. Okay, do they do any work at all? Because it seems like they don't. Because they got too much time to gossip and worry about boys. Okay, I understand you're young and that's where you're supposed to be, like, whatever. Not focus on, but it's one of your focuses because, in theory, it's supposed to be looking for your partner for life. Whatever. But don't these people work? I mean, they're all like, oh, I wonder what's going on with Will and Electra. Well, RJ, do you know anything? And then the one girl, honey, you're thirsty like to the nth degree. Man, even I, a woman, was like, back off. Good Lord. She's like, you know, you're the sexiest person in the office. And I'm like, really? Really? Okay. That's an angle. Okay. Please, for the love of somebody, if you are in your 20s and looking for somebody and they happen to work with you, which I wouldn't really recommend that dynamic, but anyway, say you go down that road. Don't be like those girls. Please don't be like those girls. If you are a girl, don't be like those girls. They are thirsty. A man, okay, a real man, a boy even, will like you when you have other stuff to do and they're not your entire focus. I'm 43. I know what I'm talking about. Get a life. Please. Work a job. Okay. Side note. Are we ever gonna see what happened with Katie and the Logan fashion line? Please, Soap Jesus, help me out. Thank you. Goodbye.